What's going on, my people? This your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mind. Welcome to the OBF, the network, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can donate to the channel, go to OBF The Real, Cash App, and donate to the channel, people. We highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. Let's get into this boxing talk, man. You had a card yesterday, which I believe was one of the worst cards I have ever. Well, listen, you had a bunch of dudes last night that at the end of the day, when they actually do fight each other, they all look average. Now, I'm going to put it like this. All the cards was trash. I mean, the whole entire card was trash. It was just trash. It looked like it was a bunch of fighters out there that didn't really want to, I ain't going to say really didn't want to fight, but was not really willing to take chances to make an exciting fight. It looked like it was fighters out there. It looked like it was fighters out there that was just only fighting because they needed to be out there fighting. And that's what it just looked like to me. My honest opinion. The Rolly and Ryan Garcia fight was trash. And I believe mainly it's because of Ryan Garcia. The Devin Haney and JoJo something, whatever his name is, whoever the fuck dude he was fighting. I don't know the dude like that. It was trash, and that was mainly because of Devin Haney is not an exciting fighter. I'm gonna say it once again. Devin Haney cannot fight fighters that is his height. Devin Haney looks like an average fighter when he fights people his own weight class and fighters that are his height. Teofimo Lopez. I mean, we all know Teofimo Lopez is trash. He's just trash. Teofimo is just blatantly just trash. He doesn't fight anybody. He's looking for a payday. So maybe he will put in an exciting fight if he can fight somebody that he knows he's going to get a payday with. But he's just, all of them out there look like average fighters. But let's get into, shout out to the AM Man Sports Media. AM Sports Media. Let's shout out to them. Because they do good commentary over there. Listen, let's listen to what they say about this fight. And I'm going to break down some of it. Shout out to them.
Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, we just concluded Fatal, Fury, and honestly, all the fights went exactly as we thought they would. And except the last one. But we did believe that the last one was the one that potentially could end the way that it did end. And so, Jay, I would ask for you to just give me 2 or 3 minutes here.
I put it like this. Shout out to Tank, because Tank predicted this. I thought the fight would lead into one of them getting knocked out. Neither one of them have a good chin. Rolly has been knocked out before. He has been stopped by Pitbull Cruz and knocked out by Tank. An old man whipped his ass at one period of time. Listen, so But one thing about what Tank said about Rolly, and which is true, is that he got brick hands. He hits hard as fuck. His power is real. Ryan Garcia really doesn't have a chin, but he has enough of a chin that you may not knock him out. And Ryan Garcia got knocked down yesterday, and that's why he kind of really lost that fight. I believe if he would have never got knocked down and he'd have kept fighting and boxing the way he was fighting, he could have won the fight. The reason that Ryan Garcia lost the fight because he didn't fight. And give props to Rolly because as awkward as a fighter that Rolly is, I have seen since he fought Tank that he's got a little better. He's a little patient. He's a little bit more patient, and he's boxing. And so Ryan Garcia is not a great boxer. He's almost in the Rolly thing, is trying to figure out how to be a good boxer. What makes Ryan Garcia a good fighter is that he will fight. When Ryan Garcia does not fight, he looks like this. And it'll just be real. And Brian Garcia, only thing he can do is fight. He will lose fights like this. Tank was outboxing him when they fought. Tank only knocked him down twice. One when he was being reckless, and Tank knocked his ass out. The second was when he hit him in the ribs, and he stopped him. He didn't get back up. But through the whole fight, Ryan didn't win rounds. He didn't win any rounds. You basically can say Tank basically shut him out. So he can't box. So he can't get in there and box with boxers. Like real good boxers. Right? The reason he beat Devin Haney because Devin Haney wanted to sit in there and fight him. He didn't box Ryan Garcia. And listen, Devin Haney is not a good fighter. He's not a great fighter anyway. He's a decent boxer. He's not a great boxer. He's a decent boxer. Devin Haney looked worse than Shakur. Running around the goddamn ring. Here and there, you got to sit down and throw some punches. But he was, like I said, he was scared. He knows his chin ain't shit. But let's move on.
As I go on this soliloquy, because I can tell that just based off what I was seeing in the Discord, that we are going to have people that are going to have idiotic takes across social media. And we're going to hear things like Osterine as the reason why we saw the results of the fight, the final fight tonight. And that rubs me the wrong way.
First of all, yeah, that's bullshit. Because Ryan Garcia looked like he was in the best shape of his career since he fought Tank. My honest opinion. Ryan, you didn't see him get tired nowhere in that fight. And I keep telling y'all about fighters. People don't want to realize this shit. When you are one of those fighters, fighters cannot be off for a long period of time. You cannot be off for a whole year. So let me just say this. I get why they wanted Ryan and Rolly to fight, but that was a bad fight for him. Believe it or not, Ryan Garcia shouldn't have been even headlining that fight. My honest opinion. Even though Ryan Garcia is the biggest star out of all of them, but he shouldn't have been headlining. He should have been co-main eventing and let somebody else be the headline and fighting, you could say a cherry pick to get his feet back ready and right. But him coming back off a whole year to fight fight Rolly Romero was a bad, number one, it was a bad matchup because of the simple fact They're almost the same type of fighters. Only difference is that Rolly's just awkward. They got the same power, same type of foot speed, same. You can even say that Ron just maybe a little bit more faster than him, but he wasn't that fast yesterday. He was just a little taller than Rolly, but it didn't really matter to Rolly because Rolly has power and his arms are long. They probably had the same arm length. It was just a bad matchup. Ron shouldn't have been fighting Rolly, not at this time. Maybe his next fight or something like that, but he should have just been fighting a pick-me, just like what Devin Haney got. Nobody knew who the fuck this dude was Devin Haney was fighting. And that was the same thing with Ryan. He should have been fighting a nobody. But you fought somebody with a name. And let's just be real. Rolly is maybe a C and D fighter, and it all depends on who he's fighting. So it just kind of lets you know sometimes about who these dudes are really fighting. But let's move on.
Because it demonstrates that people are lazy in their assessments. They're lazy in their analysis, or they're just simply stupid. But Osterring had absolutely nothing to do with what occurred tonight. And I'm gonna, and before I even go into what I have to say about that, I'm going to circle back to this statement. The version of Ryan Garcia that fought tonight still beats Devin Haney. I'll say it again. The version of Ryan Garcia that fought.
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Well, I won't say that. If Devin Haney fights like he fought tonight, and Ron fought like how he fought last night, both of them fought last night, it'll be a much more closer fight. But I still believe he may be right because the only reason is because of the simple fact that Ryan Garcia has power and Devin Haney doesn't. But if Devin Haney fight like he fought last night, where he ran around the goddamn ring, he can pull it off. And then, like I said, Byron Ron not scared of Devin Haney's power, Ron still will beat him. Devin Haney has a better chance of doing what he did last night and maybe win the fight on a decision, but he ain't gonna hurt Ron. And Ron's chin ain't all that good. So part of me fully agree with him. But the other little part of me, I don't know, because Ryan Garcia can get outboxed. And I don't know if Ryan can close off gaps. He can close, he can close off people and stop a motherfucker from moving around the ring like that. I don't know if Ryan can do that. But if Devin Haney can stay away from Ron's power, and hopefully he worked on of stopping Ron with the left hand, just like Rolly did, made it very uncomfortable. Only way you can do that with Ryan is what Tank did about taking away his shit and him still fearing that you can hurt him. Right? And that's why Ryan got exposed last night, because Rolly ain't do nothing that Tank didn't do. Rolly got the same goddamn power that Tank got. And he looked better and he was patient. And that was the thing that fucked Ryan up. He was scared to throw. And once Rolly hit him with some shit, they exchanged, and Rolly knocked his ass down. And he felt that brick hand. That shit was a wrap. But let's be real. Rolly didn't even hit Ron with his best punch. He hit him with a left hook. He caught him with a left hook. His right hand is his best hand. He caught him with a left and knocked him down. Come on, man. Ryan got exposed just as well as Devin Haney. Listen, them dudes are not, they're not A or B level fighters. I'm just being real. Rolly Romero made Ryan Garcia prove a lot of points up there. Ryan Garcia is a C level fighter. Devin Haney looked like a C level fighter. He was fighting nobody, and you didn't exchange with this nigga, but he was scared. But listen, I give props to Bill and Devin Haney for this, which Ryan should have probably did a cherry pick. They cherry picked the dude that had slow feet, and he probably had some decent power, but he had no boxing skills. He wanted to exchange, and I think they learned from the Ryan shit, and they just worked on some shit. And all they did was run around the ring. I give Bill and Devin Haney props for that. But I wonder who Devin Haney's going to fight next. He can't go and fight nobody else. Listen, if he go fight somebody that nobody wants to see him fight, he's going to be fighting on an undercard again. Nobody wants to see Devin Haney fight nobodies after this. All right, you had your warm-up, nigga. Now you got to go fight the elites. And let's be real. And let me just say this. I remember Bill Haney was talking all this goofy shit about Boots Ennis. Nigga, and Ryan Garcia talking all that shit. Boots Ennis will beat the dog shit out of both of y'all. Even before I seen this fight, Boots Ennis will fuck y'all up at 147. He will beat the shit out of y'all. No, first of all, Boots Ennis is way too big for Devin Haney. Let's just be real. Number two, he will fucking knock out Ryan Garcia. He's too fast for Ryan. And Ryan can't box. So all that shit you talking about, you can go fight Boots Ennis is bullshit. And Teofimo Lopez, nigga, we know you just talking. Boots will dog walk you. Let's just be real. I know niggas now that Boots is now starting to get his star now. Everybody's starting to hate on Boots. Boots ain't like this and Boots ain't like, nigga, Boots is Boots, nigga. Niggas still don't want to fight Boots. Everybody talking all that gangster shit, but nobody want to fight Boots. And the thing is, I've said this, I always say this about dudes like Boots and Earl, when Nick and Tank, when all them niggas is on the rise, nobody wants to fight them. But when the niggas start getting that money and they start being the stars, now everybody want to fight them. But the problem is, and I didn't like this about Earl, nigga, you are worth more than these niggas that want to fight you now. You can't stoop down to them, nigga. You got to get paid and they got to take what you're going to get them. You don't try to lowball them, but you let them niggas know we going to pay you what you worth. We going to give you a little extra, but we going to pay you what you worth. You can't do that to Tank. You can't do that to Boots. You're not going to fight Boots and think that you're going to get a bigger payday than Boots because you got a belt. No, Boots Ennis is Boots Ennis, nigga. He got a name. And he's somebody. He's a star right now. He's not a superstar, but he's a star. And some of these niggas talking about they want for Teofimo Lopez. Nigga, you barely a star. You ain't gonna come in there and get no equal money with no motherfucking Boots Ennis. Let's just be real. Let's move on. This whole notion these niggas think they can go fight Boots. They can fight Boots at 147. All three of them niggas. You will get your ass whipped fucking with Boots. You will get dog walk fucking with Boots. I watched Sweet Pea back in the day. Listen, Sweet Pea is probably one of my top 10 greatest boxers of all time. Sweet Pea was the shit. So let's move on.
Tonight still beats the version of Devin Haney I saw fight tonight. Rolly Romero literally just showed us that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are C-class fighters. That's what he showed.
And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Now, I want y'all to understand something very, very clear. You remember when people kept saying Tank ain't never fought nobody? He ain't never fought nobody. These niggas is fighting niggas that Tank already beat. Tank beat Ryan Garcia. He fought Devin Haney. He whooped Devin Haney ass. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can call it the steroid thing, whatever. He whipped his ass. You got beat by a C-level fighter. Tank ain't fought nobody. Niggas that Tank, he ain't fight nobody. Okay, you got your ass whipped by one. Okay, now, Ryan Garcia. I'm not saying Ron said that Tank ain't never fought nobody, but Rolly Romero, they kept saying Rolly wasn't this and wasn't that. Okay, Ryan Garcia couldn't beat him. And let me explain something to you. And let's be real. And what I think may happen, Devin Haney might try to go fight Rolly. Unless Boots is willing to give him an opportunity. Because the money got to make sense. And we know Devin Haney don't put asses in the seats. But he got a name, but he don't put asses in the seats like that. And they're going to have to come to Philly. Philly or Las Vegas. They're going to have to fight in Philly or Vegas. So, but I believe that Devin Haney and Bill Haney, this might be factual. Bill and Devin they probably kind of real happy that Ryan lost, so Devin Haney won't get his ass whipped again, but they still might make that fight just because of the Turk dude. He might still push for that fight to happen. And like I said, and for that to happen, Ryan got to win. Right? So maybe Ryan got to go fight somebody that he can beat, maybe with a name. Or, like I said, if it come down to it, listen, Devin got opportunities now. Even though the fight was trash, he beat nobody, he won. Listen, Devin, his opportunities, he got opportunities now. Boots may let him fight him. He probably can fight Brian Norman. He may be okay of fighting Devin Haney. That may happen. Then you have he can fight Teofimo because Teofimo just won. That could be a pay-per-view. Maybe. Right? What the fuck? Damn, that come from? I might have to light me an incense. God damn it. Or like I said, Devin Haney they may still make the Ryan Garcia fight. It won't be a main event. They may have to be cold main event with another superstar or something like that. Maybe on the Boots and a super on the Boots and his card. Maybe that may have to be. But I think they want to make that fight big with Devin Haney and Ryan. So Ryan would have to win. He had to fight somebody again. I don't think it's a good idea that Ryan coming off a loss. He didn't look bad, but he didn't fight. And that's why he really lost that fight. But Ryan might have to go fight somebody again to get a win. And Devin Haney may have to go fight another cherry pick. So he won't lose a fight. Because he can't go fight a big name right now and still want to get that Ryan fight. Because look what happened. Right? What they should have done was run that shit back this fight. But, you know how the boxing game goes. And they fucking with Turkey Al-Ashiki now. They fucking with him. So, this nigga don't know what he doing. Let's move on.
Because he took away, I just saw you do it. He took away the left hook from Ryan Garcia. That's all he did. And once Ryan couldn't land that left hook, he had no other answers. He stopped throwing it after he got dropped with Rolly's left hook. He started trying to focus on the jab. But once he could not throw that left hook, he had absolutely no answer. It was exactly what Tank said about him. It's exactly what Devin said about him, except Devin couldn't actually take away the left hook. Had nothing to do. I saw someone in the Discord talking about he looked lethargic. He looks lethargic tonight in comparison to what we saw against Devin Haney. Are you shitting me?
No, he just looked. Ron just looked like he was in better shape. That's it. That's all. Ron just looked like he was in better shape. And Devin Haney looked like he was just, the way Devin Haney fought Ryan, the way he fought last night, that's how he should have probably fought Ryan. But he decided to get in there and fight a dude with power. Listen, it's one thing of fighting a dude with power like that, standing there fighting him. If you ain't got nothing to throw back and you ain't got no defense in a way, because Devin Haney's defense ain't really like that either. But I don't know if he can stop Ryan Garcia left hand. But let's move on. Let's move on.
Devin Haney in the first fight, he was tired by round 2. This version tonight didn't get tired at all. Devin was gunshot tonight, did not want to engage, was trying to stay away from Ramirez. It was clear to me that he did not want any smoke, and you could see that there was residuals from the fight with Ryan Garcia. He still loses to Ryan, even if they have the rematch. Rolly fought a good fight. He took away Ryan's best punch. He started stabbing that body, which there was actually opportunities for Ryan to counter him. But because Ryan is not that good, he couldn't actually execute on it. And there was actually...
It wasn't that part of it might be that he's not that good. But the other part is Rolly's power. Listen, any fighter get gun, they get gunshot. They won't throw back if they feel the other person's power, right? It's almost like, think about it. It's almost like, I'm gonna tell you something. That's why Tank should have boxed Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach can take a punch. We know he got a chin now, right? He got good defense. And he can box. Right? And he got power. He got everything Tank got, other than maybe Tank can outbox him. Right? Tank got everything. Lamont Roach got everything that Tank has, other than that Tank can outbox him. It was proven that Tank could have did it, but he chose not to, for whatever fuck the reason was, but he didn't. And that's why the fight wound up being what it was. But Lamont Roach could beat any of these fighters that Tank fought. I mean, yeah, that fought last night. He could beat any one of them. And like I said, the only person that ought to be scared of Lamont Roach fighting out of them motherfuckers that fought last night is probably Rolly. Because Rolly is an awkward fighter with power. And I seen last night he got better at trying to box. I seen it. So he's probably the only one that I would fear that Lamont Roach maybe get caught and get fucking knocked out. Because people keep sleeping on Rolly's power. His power is like that. Pitbull Cruz is a different nigga. Pitbull, he got a chin and he got defense. And he a little nigga. So it's really kind of hard to hit him really like that. and he goes straight at you. So you down there got a box pit bull. But like I told you, if Tank didn't fuck his hand up, he most likely would have stopped Pitbull. At least would have knocked him down or hurt him really like that. He got stunned a couple of times, but the way Tank fought Pitbull, box Pitbull, he can do that same shit to Lamont Roach. But the only thing is that Lamont Roach is a great counterpuncher. I give Lamont Roach that. He's a great counterpuncher. He's great at counterpunching. I just don't think that he can outbox Tank. But let's move on.
At least for Rolly to counter Ryan, but because Rolly's not that great, he was unable to execute on it. Shout out to Rolly Romero for being successful in this fight. But at the end of the day, Rolly Romero just proved a point that we've made for quite some time. Ryan Garcia, the version that we saw tonight, will be able to reach Devin Haney from range. Devin has not shown anything, at least as far as I'm concerned, tonight that would demonstrate that he would still be able to deal with the fact that Ryan would be able to reach him from range and be able to catch him with that hook. So I still have Ryan beating him in a rematch. Styles makes fights. This had nothing to do with Osterine, and that's why we want to see all fighters face each other. Stop making up these BS excuses about Osterine and actually go do some research. I saw someone talking about it's used clinically. Osterine is actually used in clinical settings, when in reality, Osterine actually failed clinical trials. Jay, it's on you, my brother. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, tonight was an interesting night. Matt, I ain't go with do the bet, but I don't like betting on anything I don't got any control over. But Rolly did this all night. He did this. He messed Ryan up in the second round. 30 seconds in the second round, caught him with his own left hook, and that threw Ryan off. And then the stab jab, I kept saying, like, go to the body. He was tearing the body up on Ryan.
And that's the thing, too. Rolly did kind of what Tank did. The only difference was that Tank kept stabbing at his left hand. Like, you get what I mean? Like, Tank was using his right to take away Ryan left, so he couldn't like kind of get it off. Like it get hit, and then he hit Ryan to do this and then try to do that, but Tank already then did that and awkwardly threw it. So Tank was good of like dodging it. You get what I mean? And so, and then when you do that, you open yourself up. When Ryan throws that motherfucker, throws that left hook, it opens him up because Tank power punch is the left. So it opened him up, and so it was like it wasn't bad, but Tank outboxed him. That's basically what it was. What Rolly did was just like had his shit up, was like, yeah, I don't mind taking the punch. That's why if you look at the fight, Dirk James kept telling Ryan, hey man, you throw the fucking jab, even if you can't hit him in the face, hit him on the arms, hit him on the shoulders. That shit matters. It'll stop him from throwing that fucking left hand jab or catching you with the hook. He wasn't listening. I don't know if he wasn't listening, but it was just that Ryan Garcia seems to me he doesn't have a plan B. Whatever plan A is, if that shit doesn't work, he gonna stick with it. And that's what happened. He stuck with the same shit with Tank. He stuck with his A plan. A plan didn't work. And then the same thing with Rolly. But if he was scared or put a little fear in him to throw punches and shit because he got caught with a left and got knocked down. The only difference was that it was an exchange, right? when he did that, he was doing that to Tank, he was rushing Tank and he got caught. You get what I mean? Like, boom. And he fell. And Tank always said, yeah, I got power, but it's about the accuracy of it. So a lot of times Tank punches don't really hurt you. It just stun you or catch you off guard so much because it's accurate, it'll knock you down. It'll catch you in the weird, especially when you throwing punches, and it was a counter basically. So counters can knock your ass down. That don't mean you hurt. Right? Now it could hurt you, but usually a lot of times when people get caught with counters and they get knocked down, they're usually not hurt. That's why Ron Garcia got the fuck right back up. Even with the Rolly shit, he got right back up because he wasn't hurt. It was an exchange, and it was one of them punches, you didn't see coming. So that was the only difference of it, but let's move on.
Now, when Ryan did use his jab, it was quick, but then Rolly started adjusting to it. Why just started doing a little hop back? But Ryan was too afraid of Rolly's power. He's not afraid of that with Devin. Devin didn't have the power that Rolly has. So, I mean, it's going to be a different fight. It's not their Styles Makes fight. So the Oscar ring wasn't it, y'all. Devin said, oh, Ryan is a one-trick point. Rolly just proved that tonight. Devin couldn't when they fought last year. That's the difference. Devin couldn't prove it. And then Devin is Ramirez. Y'all see some people saying like, oh, he fought great. He was defensive. No, that wasn't defensive. What he did the first two, he took the whole first minute and a half off. He didn't throw a punch. That's not defense. That's not defense. He's running around on his bicycle the whole time. That's not defense. They damn near did what Shakur and De Los Santos did. Ramirez is part of the reason that fight was a sneaker as well. But Devin, you have a jab. You didn't utilize that. I think you still
no. The part of was it would have been more interesting if Devin Haney would have fought. It had nothing to do with his opponent. His opponent was who his opponent was. His opponent was maybe a lower level Ryan Garcia. Believe it or not. And I think he was a right-hander. He wasn't he was He was just a lower level Ryan Garcia. That's it. Probably a D level fighter. That's all. Because, I mean, if you look at the fight, he kind of did fight like Ryan Garcia. When Devin Haney fought Ryan Garcia didn't really throw jabs too much like that. He was trying to fucking hurt. He was trying to exchange with Devin. And Devin fell right into the trap because he felt like he had to prove something he wanted to put on the show. And I keep telling niggas, and it's the same thing I said to Tank. That's why Tank looked at the way he looked. Listen, people gonna love and hate you. That's just gonna happen. But the one thing that I always tell you, I put Floyd Mayweather above everybody, and I tell you he's the greatest fighter of all time. Floyd didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. Once Floyd made outside of the ring, building up to the fight, made it exciting, talked all this shit, been the villain, and he got all you motherfuckers sitting in them seats, he good. And this was the thing about Floyd. That motherfuckers need to learn. They talk about Floyd hurt the sport. No, he didn't. Floyd fought the best. Let me say this. The one thing about Floyd, but these niggas need to learn, you need to get in the ring with the niggas that they think that can beat you. But you never allow the motherfuckers to act like they're dictating the shit. You got to be like Floyd. I'm the cash cow. I bring the loop in and stand on business with that shit. You know these niggas can't beat you, but still, you boost them up. But people already hate you enough that way people going to come try to see you lose. But then you boost them up. Right? And I said this, I say this about all fighters. You don't want a fighter to be too arrogant, right? But you don't want a fighter to sit there and give another fighter too much props. And I believe that's what happened to Tank. Tank did a lot of shit that he shouldn't have did. He should have had Coach Cal in them in his corner. I know some of the reasons why Coach Cal wasn't in that corner. I ain't gonna speak on that. That's Baltimore business. You know what I mean? And I don't want to stop getting my sources of the niggas that I know that know Tank people and no Tank. So I don't want to do that. So, and I respect Coach Cal and I respect Tank and Coach Kenny and them. So I wouldn't do that. But it was some bullshit that I get why the situation happened, but nigga, if you don't have Coach Cal in your corner and y'all ain't vibing, and I know they wasn't, that's why a lot of that fight went the way it went. Because Tank got back to fighting like a fucking amateur. Listen, I went back and I look at that fight. Tank didn't listen to Coach Kenny, and he didn't listen to Coach Cal. Even when Coach Cal is the head coach, he still listens to Coach Kenny. He wasn't even listening to Coach Kenny. And so that's why that fight went the way it went. It was so much other things with that, but that was the main reason. It was the coaching shit. It was so easy to, if Coach Cal was coaching and Coach Kenny, he was listening to them, it was so easy to beat Lamont Roach. Because it wasn't like Lamont Roach was doing great shit. It was that he was fundamentally sound and he wasn't scared of Tank. That was the only thing. But Tank he's a better boxer than Lamont Roach. Tank was just doing unnecessary shit that he didn't need to do. Wasn't paying attention, trying to do too much with the crowd. And when he in sync with Coach Cal and Coach Kenny and them, they would have brought his ass back down to humanity. Like, yo, chill the fuck out. Hey man, look, focus. Don't listen. Hey man, you gotta do this. Like, what are you doing? Listen, the bad part about Tank ain't even know what round he was in. Because he was playing too much to the crowd. He wasn't listening to his coaches. His main coaches, he had this one motherfucker that was, no disrespect to him, had that one coach that ain't your coach, nigga. But that's how that shit went. And that's why Tank, listen, some people think Tank lost. Some people think it's a draw. Some people thought Tank won. Listen, to me, I'll take the draw. I don't know. I keep looking at that fight. I don't know if Tank won the fight, but I don't think he lost the fight either. It was too action-packed in a way. Now, if you want to say you never seen Tank stumble on punches or something like that, getting hit, yeah, you would probably get the Lamont Roach. But Tank was hitting him with harder punches, effective punches. Tank was a little bit more aggressive for me. But Tank played around. I don't know if Tank he played around too much. He didn't take Lamont Roach serious. And it was too late. I don't know. But that shit didn't look good. That's probably the worst fight I didn't see Tank fight since the amateurs. Or his upcoming. When he was up and coming fighter. Right? When he was pro, but he was coming up. That's the worst I seen him fight. Let's move on.
That's what happened with you and Ryan. Ramirez was not Ryan, but you were gunshot in there. You didn't look like yourself, sir. If you look like yourself, I could say then I could feel more confident with you fighting Ryan and rematch, even this version of Ryan, or last version of Ryan. But nah, I can't see that this time.
First of all, they're not going to fight because of Ryan lost. And number two, I don't think the money is there for this fight. Just because of Ryan losing. Second is because Devin Haney don't put asses in the seats. That's why he was fighting on Ryan Garcia undercard. Nigga, that was a bad look from the jump. Because if I'm Devin Haney, nigga, I'm not fighting on a nigga that I felt that cheated on me. I mean, it cheated me. I'm not fighting on this undercard. That's a bad look. Listen, they can't make this fight right now. If they make it, I don't think it won't sell. I'll just tell you that now. It won't sell. Nobody really wants to see that fight right now, especially if Ryan lost. If Ryan would have won, then we could talk. It'd be different. But listen, even though Ryan lost, it looks even worse that Devin Haney fought a nobody. It looked worse than Shakur in that ring, running around, and he don't sell. Like, nobody wants to see that fight right now. I genuinely don't want to see it. I don't want to see the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight. I don't want to see that shit again right now. Not right now. Maybe them niggas got to go on another different path and then come back and fight each other. Maybe they may not fight the rest of this year. They may not fight each other the rest of this year. Maybe next year. Because I believe they all won 47 pounders. But they not right now, bro. Let's move on.
But I'm not gonna go off on Devin because I'm gonna give this to Rolly. Rolly, everyone said you were trash, you were a bum. You proved today that you handled your business.
Rolly's getting better, but he's not even a C-level fighter. Rolly's not a C-level fighter. He's a D-level fighter. He's maybe a D- fighter. He's not that. Rolly's not that good. Let's just be real. But you see, he has grown to be at least a D+ C-level fighter. I seen that last night, but I still don't think he's a C-level fighter. So Ryan basically lost to a fucking D-level fighter. And I keep saying this about people like Rolly. When they're awkward like that, it depends. Listen, he's going to be a hard fight for anybody. The reason that Rolly lost to Pitbull Cruz, and I'm going to be real honest about this. The reason he lost to Pitbull Cruz is because Pitbull Cruz got a fucking chin. And he's small. But if you put, you put Rolly in a fight like this, fighting Ryan. Yes, Rolly gonna look pretty good because of the simple fact the dude is a little bigger than him, and he got power, and he been working on his skills. I'm not trying to downplay Rolly like he ain't been working on his skills, but he's still not like a C-level fighter. Rolly is kind of trash. Just be real.
Oh, it also lets some people know maybe Ryan ain't as good as he is. Some people say he was after what he did to Devin. And Devin ain't good as he is after what Ryan did to him. They're average fighters in a sense right now. They got to fight it out. No one really cares about that rematch with Ryan and Devin as much. Definitely not being a top pay-per-view attraction is not what people really want to see now.
No, and like I said, they can make money off of their rematch, but they both gotta listen. My honest opinion, I believe Devin Haney got at least fight 3 times this year. He just fought. He may can fight maybe in August, July, end of July. He maybe can, and then fight maybe at the end of December or something like that, or the top of the year. But I don't want to see Devin Haney fighting Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney's better off. He got a little bit of options now. He can go. Him and Teofimo can fight. He can go fight Brian Norman Jr. He may can get a fight with Boots Ennis. He gonna have to take a pay cut because nigga, you just fought on an undercard. And I know you probably ain't got you listen, you maybe got $1 million. You maybe got that. But just being real.
Devin didn't look that great against Ramirez. Yeah, he washed Ramirez, but Ramirez has stone cement feet, slow hands. And Devin still
it was a cherry pick. So of course he was supposed to look good. That was the whole point. Ramirez ain't no elite fighter. Ramirez ain't even a C-level fighter. He fought a D-level fighter tonight. Just last night. Just like Ron Garcia fought a D-level fighter. Now Rolly, now listen, let me be real. Rolly in a position right now where he can go fight. He may can get a fight with Boots before any of them. Believe it or not. He can go, him and Teofimo can fight. Like, it don't look good for Devin Haney or Ron Garcia fighting a name fighter. Devin, maybe. Ron, just because he do have a name, but I don't think nobody want to see Ron fight an elite fighter. He got to win. He got to get a win under his belt again. But let's move on.
On his bike. First 4 or 5 rounds for the most part, most of the rounds. So I don't see any difference in this Ryan versus Devin because I think Devin still gets caught. I think Devin mentally is not there for Ryan. After that beating he took, I don't think he's there because it showed against Ramirez to me in that fight. So nah. But salute the Rolly handling business. Golden Boy went 0 for 3. PBC won the top card tonight. Shout out to Al Heyman.
Yeah, so
because I keep telling y'all, the PBC got the best fighters, and the reason for that is because they fight each other. The best be fighting the best. These De La Hoya, they don't be fighting. Listen, man. Come on, man. And I know it's a business, but sometimes you gotta put niggas in the ring so they can get the experience to winning or losing or having tough fights. The PBC does that. And they don't overpay fighters. They pay you what you worth. If you're a fucking superstar, yeah, maybe you might get overpaid. But you got to be a fucking superstar or star or a high-level star. But you're not getting... And that's why, let me just tell you something. That's why Boots never signed with PBC, because as great as Boots is, or as good as Boots is, he's not a star at the time when Boots was coming up. Now Boots, he's still not a superstar. He's just a star. And we still didn't, listen, he still has not been in there with another name. So we don't know how great Boots is, or is he a superstar or not. I'm not saying Boots ain't good, but we don't know if he's great. We don't know how good Boots really is. He's fighting niggas that we know he should be beating. Like, and I don't like to say this about Boots because I like Boots. Boots is he's moving. They moving Boots like on that Terrence Crawford shit. Like I said, Boots got options, but I think at this point, Boots should just go ahead and fight Brian Norman Jr. and get that shit over with. I believe he's gonna beat the shit out of Brian Norman Jr. It's gonna be a great fight, but I believe he's still gonna beat the fuck out of him. But he gotta go ahead and fight Brian Norman Jr. Get that shit over with. Because I think Boots can probably be a undisputed welterweight champion by the end of this year. If he fights And it's up to Brian Norman because Brian Norman got to fight a champion. That's with a belt. So if he get that belt, then it'll make and Boots probably fight again this year, probably around the summer or something, maybe. Maybe by the end of the year or the top of the year, they can fight for undisputed. But you know, because if I'm Boots, I'm like, all right, Brian Norman Jr., are you gonna fight me or you not? If you're not, then fine. Go get one of them belts. Go get that other. I don't know who else holds that belt at welterweight, but I know Boots got 2 belts, and Brian Norman Jr. got 1. Brian Norman, go fight the dude. Get that belt from him, or you fight me now, and I'll take that belt off of you. And then I'll go get that nigga and fight it off. But it'd be probably bigger if Brian Norman Jr. go fight the dude that got the belt, and then they meet up at the end of the year or the beginning of the year in January or something. You know what I mean? And so that's maybe how that will go. And then probably Boots will fight somebody around like July, August or something like that. He still can put a name. Like if it come down to it, if I'm Boots, and Brian Norman say, all right, I'm going to go do this. Well, all right, I'm going to go fuck one of these little dudes. I'm going to go fuck Devin Haney up. Or I'm going to go fuck, I'm going to go beat the shit out of, I think it's Mario Barrios got double belt. So, listen, Boots got options. If Boots want to, he can go and go and fight Mario Barrios. Like, Boots got options. So, like, Boots is sitting real good right now. But like I said, if Brian Norman Jr. want to make this big like that, go fight Mario Barrios, get that belt off him, or I go get it off of. Because that fight is easy to make. Fucking with the PBC. So I go get that belt off. If you don't want to go get that belt off him, I go get it off him. Now, if you do go get it, then I'll go fight a Devin Haney or something like that, just to have a name under my belt that I beat the shit out of. Or some type of mandatory they give him. You know what I mean? Like Boots got options right now. And he's sitting real good right now to where he can fight anybody. But it all depends on Brian Norman. Excuse me. All right, my bad, people. I don't know what the fuck happened to me. Shit was acting up. Internet, whatever. But so Boots he's sitting in a good spot right now. Listen, it's up to Brian Norman Jr. who Brian Norman Jr. gonna fight. If Brian Norman Jr. go and fight a nobody again, nobody gives a fuck about her, then Boots can just go ahead and fight Mario Barrios and get the other fucking belt. And that'll be a pay-per-view. It will be a pay-per-view. At this point, Boots got to fight on pay-per-view now. He can't go down. So he got to fight pay-per-view. Anybody he fights. So people got to really realize that shit. But you know, Boots in the driver's seat right now. He's the one, he can dictate a lot of shit that's going on right now. But it depends on Brian Norman Jr. Who he want to fight. Is he going to fight a nobody again? You know, then Boots, and I'm Boots. I'm telling Eddie Hearn, like, hey, go make that fight with motherfucking Mario Barrios so I can get that belt up off of. Because there's no reason for it. Listen, if Brian Norman Jr. go fights Mario Barrios, fine. Right? Then Boots can go ahead and fight a Devin Haney or Teofimo or something like that. Just they got a name and, you know, put them on his resume. But you know, he don't have to fight them niggas right now.
Know where Ryan goes from here. I don't want to hear what he had to say in terms of the physical
Not with boots.
toll being a stressor on him. I don't want to hear it. So now I guess Rolly is the interim.
No. Let me say this. I'm not gonna be like them. I'm not gonna knock Ryan Garcia his mental. It's a part of why Ryan fought the kind of way he fought. His mental ain't right. I give him that. It's not a big reason of why he lost this fight, but I believe it's a part of it. Ryan, he's sober. He's trying to get his life together, get his mental together. I get that. That's part of it. People want to ignore that shit, but it's really like that. Everybody ain't got full focus like that to ignore shit that's going on in their life, right? So, no, I'm not going to do that. Yes, it's a part of why he lost. It's probably his mental. But the real part is that Ryan is fighting unhappy. And I say this to a lot of fighters. That's why Tank looked the way he looked. When you're unhappy and you're fighting, right? You wind up losing. Your confidence ain't what you think it is. So now, a lot of times, you just fighting. When you fight, a lot of times, this is about survival. And no fighter is at their best or at their peak or as good as when they're fighting for survival. And that's what happened to Tank. He just fighting just to be fighting. Like, nigga, just go ahead and retire. That's what I'm saying about Tank. Like, people think, oh, you kidding, you fuck with Tank, you know, you dig Ryan Tank and all. No, nigga, if your mind ain't that, nigga, I don't want to see what you just did with the roast fight. I don't want to see that shit again. If your mental ain't right and you ain't got the people around you that you need to have around you, then nigga, go ahead and retire. I don't want to see this shit no more. That shit was horrible. And I care about Tank too much to keep not saying that to him. Of like, yo, if you want to retire, nigga. You not happy. Okay, get out. Take a break. You 30 years old, bro. You can come back in like another year or two. Floyd did it. You can do it. You too big of a name. If Tank went off for 2 years and didn't fight, and he came back and he fought somebody with somewhat of a name or good name, he's fine. But if his mental ain't right, nigga, retire. They was talking about earlier, heard of the grapevine, that Tank postponed the fight. Okay. If that's the case, then Tank, fucking retire, bro. I don't want to see that version of what you just did this last fight. That's some bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, Tank. You're not mentally there, nigga. Take a break. You may need a break. And I keep telling all those fighters, you at least got it. When you at a somewhat elite level and your competition of who you fighting goes up, you got to at least fight twice a year. You can't be a motherfucker that's fighting once a year. You can't do that shit until you get real older, like a Floyd Mayweather or something like that. Then you can do that once a year. But even Floyd was fighting twice a year. Let's be real. And like I said, everybody ain't Floyd. So some of them niggas can't take time off like Floyd did. Or fight once a year or some shit like that. You can't do that. But anyway, let's move on.
WBA champion. I guess possibly Tio goes down that path of Boots. Maybe they still move forward with the rematch between he and Devin Haney. I'll say it again, and I think you just made the point. Devin doesn't have the power. that's still going to be a competitive fight. And I think Devin loses again. And I think there's going to be a lot of sad Devin fans in Devin Haneyville.
I don't want Devin to lose. I didn't want Devin to lose the first fight. I don't want him to lose again, then rematch against Ryan, but I think he will, just based on the way he looked tonight.
I want him to lose because I hate his dumbass fans. You guys let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment.
And listen, I don't want to see Devin lose, or I hate Devin, but his daddy makes it hard. It ain't even the fans to this point, because we know his fans is just sycophants, right? It's like a culture. It's like the Trump shit. His daddy is the problem. His daddy is the fucking problem. His number one fan, which is his daddy, makes it hard for you to like want to see Devin to win. But even though his daddy, I can't stand his daddy. I don't want to listen. I believe that Devin Haney is a C-level fighter. He's not as great as everybody think he is. It is not because I dislike him and I don't want to see him win, or I'm hating on him. It's not that. I watched his skills. He's not that good. He just got promoted to being as good as he is. And he's always been fighting niggas that's smaller than him. But let's move on.
Welcome.
Let's get into this right here. Shout out to MMA Sports Media. Let's listen to what he says about Devin Haney.
Back to the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. So I found it so interesting. Some of the comments that I saw across social media, in the comment section of some of our latest videos, also in our Discord server, comments from Devin Haney fans talking about Ryan Garcia and the fact that he didn't look the same. The power level wasn't there. The speed wasn't there. It was all about performance-enhancing drugs and Ostarine, all these different things. And yet we did not see any commentary from these Devin Haney fans in regards to his performance. I even saw something come from a well-known boxing outlet on YouTube. I won't say the name because I don't believe in all this boxing beef, but they support Devin Haney and made no mention of Devin Haney's performance, yet they commented on PED's and Ryan Garcia's performance. So let's talk about Devin, because I would tell you right now, and I want to look into the camera very clearly. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I'm really, really focusing in when I say this. Devin Haney is done at the elite level. It's over with. Because when you look at what Devin Haney did last night, he looked absolutely shell-shocked. He looked like damaged goods. He looked like a shocked fighter. He was still getting caught with left hooks. Devin Haney would have still lost to the same version of Ryan Garcia we saw last night, because it had nothing to do with lack of power or speed. Rolly Romero simply took away the only punch that we all know Ryan Garcia has, and Devin Haney has admitted to. Here's the problem with Devin and why he's done at the elite level. He was always simply a weight bully. A big lightweight who was really a welterweight fighting that lightweight. Doesn't have power.
Hold on, people. Give me 1 second. Sorry, people. I'm back.
doesn't have the requisite defense really at 147. And when he was at 135, he had the ability to just simply use reach and size to stay away from his opponent. Struggled to do that against Lomachenko, and Lomachenko was able to land. But when you get to 147, where fighters are going to be of similar size in terms of reach and height, you will have serious problems. And that is what he has demonstrated since he moved up to 140. He was able to defeat Regis because Regis is a smaller 140-pounder. But at 147, when you talk about Barrios, when you talk about Boots, when you talk about guys like even Ryan Garcia, hell, Rolly would have beat him. Rolly beats him. You think he could just sit around and just keep running around the ring like that? He looked terrible. Absolutely terrible. He has nothing to keep an opponent off of him at 147 pounds.
And let me say this too. Devin Haney has no power. That's the issue. That is the issue. And now that we know that he doesn't have a fucking chin, it's even worse. He cannot fuck with those elite guys like that. Listen, I honestly, genuinely believe that Teofimo could beat him. I genuinely believe that. Devin cannot beat elite fighters, right? Or somewhat elite fighters. Like I still believe that Teofimo, we don't know what Teofimo kind of really is in a way because he hasn't been fighting anybody, right? Like ever since he lost he fought Lomachenko and won, and then he fought Kambosos and lost. He hasn't been fighting anybody, so we don't know who Teofimo really kind of is, really, because he ain't really fought nobody, bro. But let's get one thing understood. I still believe that Teofimo can beat Devin Haney. He got enough power to beat Devin Haney. Because let me be real about this. The way how Devin Haney performed in that Ryan Garcia fight, and then how he fought last night. If Teofimo, which I believe that he maybe will work on because he know Devin going to run from him, he know how to cut off the ring. Because the one thing about Teofimo as well, Teofimo got decent power, and at the same time, Teofimo can box. So Devin Haney's not going to outbox him. He's not as fast as Teofimo. I believe Teofimo is probably faster. So I don't think he can beat Teofimo. The Ryan shit, maybe a little bit. I still will pick Ryan, but it's still up in the air. But a little bit up in the air just because of if he runs around the ring, maybe, I don't know. But it all depends if Ryan knows how to cut off a ring. If Ryan know how to cut off a ring, then yeah, I'm good with that. I believe Ryan definitely going to beat him. But it's still up in the air because we don't know if Ryan can cut off the ring because we seen that in the Tank fight. He can't cut off a fucking ring. He was decent at it, but I don't think he was like oh my God. But you know what I mean? But he doesn't have power to keep these type of guys off of him. And that's the issue. And if you get in there with a dude that can box and does have defense and has the same type of speed that Devin Haney has, and probably more, Devin Haney's not beating them. At this point, Devin Haney is the weakest link. And like I said, he and that bitch, he looks show-shot. And let me just explain something to everybody once say this again. Say this. Devin Haney is in there with people his size. And we seen when he in there with people his size and when would he weigh, just like the brother just said, you're not a weight bully no more. You in there motherfuckers with motherfuckers your size, and then maybe on fight night they even blow up higher than what the fuck you blow up at. Listen, let me tell you something. I looked at that fight with Devin Haney. He was in great shape. But the fighter they were fighting, that nigga blew up. He was when they faced off, they looked about the same. But when fight night came, that dude was way bigger because he blew up. Devin Haney can't blow up because he be slower. But anyway, let's move on.
His only option right now, and I guarantee you over the next couple of weeks, you will hear him consistently and continuously call out Ryan Garcia because that's his best option. And I'm here to tell you, if they were to fight again, he's going to lose to Ryan Garcia again because Styles makes fights and Ryan will be able to reach him from range. It's just
let me say this. If that happens, it can't. They're not going to be. Listen, money wise as a promoter, I'm not putting on for that fight. Not as a pay-per-view fight. Because Ryan just lost. And Devin Haney ain't look good. So I don't know how they can make that fight. It's not going to be a big fight. It's not going to bring in no money. So I don't understand why even Devin Haney even thinking about Ryan Garcia right now. Nigga, just go. Listen, if I'm Devin Haney, if I'm building them, because they like to manipulate the social media, realm. Listen, hey man, I'm going at a Team Fimo. What up, T? Let's fight. Or maybe, nigga, we try to get Boots. We try to get Mario Barrios, or we try to go at Brian Norman Jr. We curate chaos. That's what Bill Haney like to do. But trying to fight Ryan is stupid at this point. It ain't gonna make no money. Nobody. Listen. The Boston fans are turned off from what we seen from Ryan, but at the same time, you ain't out the doghouse yet. Devin Haney, Bill Haney, y'all motherfuckers ain't look that good. And you just fought on the undercard. Think about what happened. He fought on an undercard of the nigga that whooped his ass. Or the nigga that's supposed to cheated him. He fought on the undercard of a dude that cheated him. The fuck out of here, bro. Nobody want to see Devin Haney fight Ryan Garcia. Sorry. Even though he won. And then he ain't look good. Wasn't nothing exciting about that fight. That shit was just, he was running around the ring worse than Shakur. And he wasn't even hurt. He was just gunshot. Let's move on.
What's that? It's really just that simple. Styles makes fights, and Ryan will be able to reach him from range. There is nobody else that I give him a legitimate shot. Maybe Barrios. Maybe he can beat Barrios, but Barrios has a little pop. Boots a kid.
First, no. Listen, I don't think he can beat Barrios. Listen, I don't give him a shot at Barrios. Because Barrios can box. He ain't slow. And like you just say, Barrios got a pop. Fuck out of here. Listen. I highly doubt that Devin Haney could beat Barrios. I highly doubt that. It'll be a good fight. Listen, I actually would pay to see it because Barrios is a champion and he got a name. and Devin Haney got a name, I'll pay for it. But I'd rather see that than to see him fighting Ryan. No. Mm-mm. Listen, even if he fought Staniosis, the dude that Boots just beat, it's not a pay-per-view shit. It's an undercard, maybe. He could headline it, but it shouldn't be a pay-per-view. Let's move on.
Boots destroys him. Brian Norman Jr. destroys him. He doesn't have the pop. He doesn't have the requisite defense. He doesn't have.
And let me say this: he brought up Brian Norman Jr. I don't know how good Brian Norman Jr. is. Let me just be real. I don't know how good Brian Norman Jr. is. Brian Norman Jr. is one of them dudes. Once again, who they fought, bro? Who he fought? I don't know who he fought. Like I can't give Brian Norman this big thing because he's a champion. I don't know who he fought. Staniosis got a belt. Motherfuckers praised him like he was like that, and he got in the ring with Boots, and Boots beat the dog shit out of him. I don't know how good Brian Norman Jr. is. I just don't. He ain't fighting nobody. You a champion, you ain't fighting nobody? Especially with a name? Nah, I don't know. Listen, I'm not doing that. Listen, I'll give Devin Haney the benefit of the doubt that he probably could beat Brian Norman Jr. It's going to be a good fight. It's equal. It's 50-50 or a little more towards Devin. Because I don't know who the fuck Brian Norman Jr. been fighting. We got to stop this shit. Just because a nigga got a championship don't mean shit. Who he fought to get it? Or somebody we don't know. So no, I'm not gonna say that. I actually disagree with the brother. I'm not giving Brian Norman this hype that I know he's seeking for. It's almost like the Devin Haney shit. Like, nigga, it'd be a good fight. Listen, if I'm building them, or even Brian Norman Jr. and Sr., Bill, nigga, I'm trying to make that fight happen. Because both of y'all need it. Both of y'all need a name under y'all belt. That probably be the best fight that you can make. But Mario Barrios, I think he'll beat the dog shit out of motherfucking Devin Haney. I think it ain't even no 50-50 fight. Mario nigga, I'm picking Mario Barrios over goddamn Devin Haney. Because I know Mario Barrios been there with the Keith Thurmans of the world. He been in there with some people. Devin Haney, come on, man. Let's move on.
Skill level, honestly. And people are going to come on here and they're going to say, Greg, you're hating. You just hate Devin Haney. I don't hate Devin. Actually, I like Devin. I've always liked Devin. And Jay can attest to this. I used to say before we even had a channel, Jay, there's something missing with Devin. He looks like he should be this, but it's not materializing in the ring. There's gaps in the defense. He has a nice jab, but he doesn't have the requisite skills. He looks like he should have the defense, but he gets caught with the shots. You know, the hand's not placed when it needs to be placed. Those types of things. And
what happened is we found out he ain't got no power. And he ain't got a chin. And we found out that he ain't that great on defense. He ain't great on defense. He's okay. Not even good. He's okay. His jab is okay. It's not good. It's okay. Like, we found out, like, he got a lot of flaws. And the shit was proven last night. He's okay. He's good. Okay, cool. He's all right. Devin Haney is an all right fighter. And we came to find out he's a weight bully. When he fight niggas inside, he gonna run around that goddamn ring. And when he does he does decide to get on some real dog shit, he can get knocked down, he can get hurt. Well, like I told you, I seen the shit before that. When he fought the other Mexican dude at 135, I didn't seen him get hurt in the exchange. I seen it. Legs wobbling like a deer. I seen it. So I knew he wasn't like that. That's why I say niggas can say whatever they want to say about Tank. Nigga, I ain't never seen Tank hurt. I ain't never seen him hurt. I seen him get hit with a good shot, got stunned, but I ain't never seen him hurt. Or a nigga hit him with a shot and he go backwards, but he's still coming. I ain't never seen Tank hurt. We seen Devin Haney been hurt before. Now we give Devin Haney his props that he got hurt, and he came back, or whatever. That nigga, that's you kind of supposed to do that as a boxer, as a fighter. Like you get hurt like that, you supposed to have that. But we seen him get off the canvas a couple times. Yeah, it's okay. I give him that, but no, nigga, we seen you hurt though. And like I said, if you run into a motherfucker that's an elite fighter and they catch you with some of them punches, like if Tank caught him with some of them punches that Tank throws, Tank can knock his ass out. That ain't no shit that people can sit here and pretend that they don't know. Oh, what happened? Tank catch you with some of them punches, nigga, you going down. You ain't getting up. Listen, you ask the Frank Martins of the world. You ask a lot of them niggas. Frank Martin, we found out Frank, like, listen, I always tell y'all, Tank knocked a lot of niggas out because of what Tank said. All the niggas, they said, I just didn't see the punch. The power is there. Listen, you can't say Tank, or you say, well, I don't think his power is like that. But he caught you with a power shot and knocked your ass out. It's just that you didn't see it. But the power is still there. Right? Now, Lamont Roach showed a different thing. Because Lamont Roach was defensively sound. Right? Everybody wanted to go there. And this is something I seen with Lamont Roach, what he did to Tank. Lamont Roach did what he did, right? Lamont Roach didn't initiate. He didn't get aggressive. He didn't feel like he had to be totally active. He was actually very patient in a way. And that's why that fight went the way it went. Usually everybody get in there with Tank, they scared of his power. They feel like, hey, you know what? If I can win these couple of rounds more than Tank, I can beat him. But that's not what Lamont Roach did. And like I said, it was out character of Tank. Tank could have rocked Lamont Roach to sleep, which sometimes he does. And what happened was Lamont Roach was patient. He wasn't scared. And at the same time, he had great defense. And it was Tank's fault why he lost. If people thought he lost that fight or went to a draw, it was Tank's fault. Tank supposed to rock his ass to sleep. Nigga, I ain't gonna throw it out. I'm gonna make you. And so I'm gonna tell you something. When you fuck with a nigga like Floyd, or you fuck with a nigga like Tank, and they stay patient, they throw what they throw. And you already know that you gotta get aggressive with them. You can go a couple rounds with them, nigga. That don't mean you winning the fight. And Tank just didn't box, which he should have did, and he usually do. Tank just didn't. I think Tank just didn't understand that Lamont Rocha wasn't scared of him. He thought Lamont Rocha was maybe get scared because of all the shit was going on or whatever, but Lamont Rocha was focused. He wasn't scared of you. He was focused. He didn't let the spotlights get to him. It was none of that. You got outside your character or what you supposed to do. Supposed to rock that nigga to sleep. And like I said, you can't keep, like, I'm gonna tell you about people that fight superstars. They get very impatient when they already against the scorecards because of how big the star is that they fighting. And that's always what happened to a lot of Floyd fighters. They get too aggressive. And then they get outboxed or whatever shit happened. They start making mistakes. The problem with Tank gave a fuck about putting on this thing. Like, no, dude, outbox him. Understand the position Tank would have been in if Tank would have just boxed him. Nobody would have been talking about Lamont Rocha really like that. I'm just telling y'all. Lamont Rocha, listen, he's an elite fighter. I'm not saying that. But he ain't Tank. He ain't on Tank level. And I'm telling you, Tank made him somebody that he's not. Because Tank did not be patient. He didn't understand that this dude is not scared of him. He's understanding that Tank is the superstar. Tank got to go out here and put on his performance. He knew that. He knew he understood that he the underdog, but he the underdog, but ain't scared. And Tank, I don't think Tank was betting on this dude. The spotlights come and this dude was going to trip off the spotlights, and that was the issue. And that's why Tank. Some people say he lose. Some people say it's a draw. Whatever. But that's why, in my opinion, I believe it was a draw. I could not say that Tank won or lost. But I know Tank fought a bad fight. I'll tell you that shit. That shit was trash. I seen from Tank, that shit was trash.
Evident last night that, now he doesn't even have the psyche. It's bad when you don't have the skill set, but now he doesn't even have the psyche. I saw last night a fighter that didn't even believe. I mean, he seriously tried to stay away from Ramirez, and I haven't known Ramirez to have incredible knockout power or anything of that nature. So, Devin is done. I suspect Devin has 2 to 3 fights before you see something, unless some really good matchmaking occurs, which I don't know if it even can right now because Devin.
I think that my honest opinion, I actually highly disagree with him. I believe because Bill Haney, I say what I say about Bill Haney being whatever I say about him. But I believe Bill Haney is smart enough to understand we can't get that Ryan Garcia fight. It's not going to make no money. But like he said, I do agree with him. He maybe got 2 to maybe 3 fights. He can fight another no-name motherfucker, right? But if he fight Mario Barrios, his career is over. if he fight Teofimo Lopez, he can bounce back from that because it will come off of that. At least he fighting somebody, one of the 4 kings, right? So it makes sense, right? You probably would give Devin another chance, right? But I think if he fought Teofimo and he lost to Teofimo, it may fuck it. And he lose to him, it may fuck his career up. So the best bet of Devin, what he should do, is fight the niggas that got champions at 147. Push for them fights. Because that may be your last payday. I believe he got a better chance of fighting Brian Norman Jr. I don't know if Brian Norman Jr. He's not proven to me. Him fighting Boots, that'll be some shit of, nigga, that's your biggest payday. And you're done. Right? Fighting Mario Barrios, it's a decent fight. You can pay-per-view that. But I still think Mario Barrios will beat you. But if Mario Barrios beats you, you still got a little more of a chance of coming, do another fight somebody ain't nobody, may fight a Stanley Otis or something, and then come back and maybe try to get another title fight. But you fight Boots. If Devin Haney fight Boots, and what will happen, Boots will destroy him. You can't come back from that. You can't come back from a Boots ass whooping. Let's just be real. Brian Norman Jr., to me, that's about a 50-50 fight. Mario Barrios, to me, because I think that Mario Barrios will whip his ass, that's about a 60-40 fight. But you got a better chance of coming back after that, because at least you fighting motherfuckers with somewhat of a name. You fighting champions. So motherfuckers might, like, all right, Devin Haney fought a bullshit fight. He may got to go back down to fight the undercard again. And then, maybe he fight another motherfucker that ain't got a big name, got 2 wins, and then maybe you can go try to fight for another championship. And that's why he's saying he maybe got 2 or 3 fights left in him. But that's the only way. If he go to Mario Barrios route, yeah. I believe he can come back from that. Fighting Brian Norman Jr., I don't know. But I think his best bet, honestly, my honest opinion, if I'm Devin Haney people, fight Brian Norman Jr. Because I don't know how good Brian Norman Jr. is. It's a wild card. It's like 50-50. But but from what he's saying, he got about 2-3 fights. He probably better off fighting Mario Barrios. Fighting Boots, no, you gonna get your ass kicked. It will. Listen, I'm telling you this. He fight Boots, it will end his career. It will end it. His career will be ended. He go fight Boots. Boots will end his career. Because number one, you ain't gonna be able to sit in the pocket with Boots. Number 2, Boots is a better boxer than him. I believe Boots be reckless a lot of times. I don't think Boots got good defense, but I think Boots got a good chin. And it ain't nothing that Devin Haney power to Boots ain't gonna matter to him. So, just being real, Boots will destroy him. It's nothing that Devin Haney has that you can say it's a good thing that he got that's better than Boots. It's not. Boots will fuck him up. He will dog walk him. He will beat the shit out of Devin Haney. And this is a fact. He can't fuck with no Boots. Boots will end his career. So he's probably better off fighting than Brian Norman Jr., and see how that fight. That's a 50-50 fight for me. But if you want to have something to fight, if you say you do lose to Mario Barrios, at least you can fight again. So you might can get maybe two fights after that. And then maybe you can go again and get that Ron fight. But nah. But anyway, let's move on.
At a level where he's looking for specific dollars and, they're going to move him more aggressively in my mind. And then he's not even with a promoter. And I don't think Bill will understand matchmaking like that. But unless some really good matchmaking happens, or there's something that fortuitous happens for Devin, I foresee Devin.
Let me say the matchmaking thing. At this point with Devin, he can't fight nobody that ain't got no name. Like, the only person he probably can fight at 147 right now is probably Staniosis. That probably we'd be like, all right, cool. But he can't fight nobody else. Like, let's just be real. He got it. Like, he just won. So, Staniosis. That's probably the only person he can fight. That people be like, all right, we cool with that. But anything outside of that, he got to fight a Teofimo. He got to fight a Brian Norman Jr. He got to fight a Mario Barrios. He got to fight a Boots Ennis. He got to fight those dudes. Even though that Devin Haney is not a superstar, but he's still a star in a way. He's like a low-level star, but he's a star. He got a name. Put it like that. Well, he's not a star, but he got a name. Listen, he got to fight somebody that got a name or a superstar or a star. He got to fight them. You just can't. He can't have another warm-up. I'm just telling you that now. So, he got to fight another. Like I said, the only lowest he can go is fighting Staniosis. They're just for Boots. That's the only person he probably can fight that's lower. But other than that, he can't fight nobody lower. Now, just being real. Let's move on.
Having some serious issues moving forward as his body grows and he can no longer make these lower weight classes. 140 is done. He's done at 140. He can't fight at 140 no more.
Nope.
He struggled to make the weight. I don't care what it is that he says. He can say whatever it was that he wanted to say about this fight and his ease of making the weight. I think Robert Garcia is right when he said that they wanted to change the weight. So there's nothing else no one can tell me about it. Devin probably needs to be at 150. It wouldn't surprise me if Devin needs to move up to 154 in probably the next 24 months. He's a big guy. He looked big last night.
Well, I don't know if he's, even though if he got to move up to that weight, I don't know if he's fast enough. My honest opinion, I don't know if he's fast enough to be at that at a 154. He listen, he definitely can't beat a Charlo. You know what I mean? Hopefully the Terence Crawford and Canelo shit happen. However it turn out. I believe, my honest opinion, I believe the only reason that Terence Crawford is even talking about coming back down to 154 is if he lose. But if Terence Crawford beats Canelo, he's not moving back down to 154. He may stay at 160 or something. Right? He might beat Canelo. If he does beat Canelo, he may give up all them belts at 168. He's not fighting at 168. Because first of all, it's nobody at that weight class that can generate the money that Canelo can bring. He just made the biggest money he made. He gonna make the biggest money he ever made fighting Canelo. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about? The only reason he'll go down, he made some big money with Canelo, but he lose, so his stock kind of go down a little bit. So he gotta go fight somebody like Jermell Charlo or something. That's the only reason. That's the only way he'll go back down to 154. But I still believe that Jermell Charlo will whip his ass. I'm just telling you that now. Jermell Charlo is big, powerful, and have speed. Just being real, I don't think he can beat Jermell Charlo. But anyway, let's move on.
Ryan looked huge last night. But it's just so interesting that the focus was on how Ryan looked from Devin Haney fans, yet Devin looked like absolute trash last night. And there's no comments on that.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like a shot fighter. He's done. He's absolutely done. And I'm not saying that Ryan is in any better position, but I do think styles make fights. Ryan needs to get in the lab and develop something other than a left hook. That's his huge problem. Devin's huge problem is he has virtually no power. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any improvements in the ring last night. There was an interview with Shane Mosley after the fight, and Shane was like, there could be things that could. Shane knew he looked like shit. He's not dumb. He knew that wasn't a good performance. We all know that it's not a good performance, and he knows that there has been no improvement from fight to fight to fight. And I'm not going to include the last fight, but even the fight before that and the fight before that, there has been no improvement in Devin Haney over the last 5 fights. He's the same fighter. He looked the same, and he's going to, I think we're going to see something unfortunate happen to Devin.
Devin Haney can't beat elite fighters. He just can't. He can't beat elite fighters. Because number one, he doesn't have a chin. And then the other part is that he don't have no power. Like everybody got talking about Floyd and all that. Listen, Floyd had enough power to keep you up off of him. Devin Haney don't have that. And listen, even if you want to say this about Floyd ain't had enough power. He ain't had no power. One thing about Floyd, he can outbox you. We'll never say Devin Haney is on the same level of Floyd Mayweather of boxing. Shit, he ain't on the same level of Tank of boxing. So Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT of boxing. So what we talking about? He can't outbox nobody. He can't. Like, he's not on that level, bro. So he gonna get hurt. He don't have no power. He don't have. Now we know he don't have no chin. He ain't as defensively sound of people trying to pretend that he has this defensive sound shit. Like he's defensive sound. He's not. He doesn't have that. He has no chin. He's not defensively sound. He has no power. Come on, man. It's not a greater boxer like that, like people try to think. He ran around that ring like Shakur. I don't know why y'all don't understand that. I didn't even look at it as, he was shell-shocked from getting beat up by Ryan Garcia. No, I looked at it as that a dude, he know he ain't got no power to keep a dude off of him. So he just got to run. It's like Shakur. I keep telling y'all, Shakur ain't got no fucking power. He ain't got no goddamn power. Shakur ain't been in there with somebody that got real power like that. I'm trying to tell you. Hold on. I'm sorry, De Los Santos. He got some power, but it ain't that elite power. Shakur ain't been in there. Listen, if Shakur got in there with motherfucking Rolly would hurt him. He will run around that fucking ring. If Shakur wanted to fight Ryan Garcia right now, Ryan Garcia would hurt fucking Shakur Stevenson. You put Shakur Stevenson in the ring with Lamont Roach right now, he'll fuck him up. Pitbull Cruz, same shit. He would run. He ain't gonna sit there and get into, that shit like that with those guys. He can't do it because he don't have no power. There's one thing of not having a chin. I ain't questioning Shakur's chin. I ain't never seen him hurt or nothing like that. But we know he ain't gonna sit in that pocket. We done seen Floyd, the Tanks, Sugar Rays, a lot of them niggas sit in the pockets with niggas that got power and get hurt. We seen them. Only thing I ain't never seen Tank hurt, but I seen them get hit with shots. But those niggas I just mentioned, we seen them get hit. They willing to stand there and throw some shit. You look at Cotto, that fight with Cotto and Floyd. Go back and look at that fight. Floyd stayed in the fucking pocket and was getting hit with shit. Bloody nose, all that shit. And Cotto got a punch. What the difference was that Floyd was like, this nigga ain't fast as me. He can't box like me. And I ain't scared of his power. Yeah, he fucking me up. He hit me with some shit. Yeah, it hurt. But I'm not hurt like that. I'm still just better than him. You ain't seen that from a Shakur. Shit, you ain't even seen that from a motherfucking Terrence Crawford. That's why Terrence say Floyd the GOAT. Because none of them niggas has been in the ring with the elites like that in their era. They haven't been there. They ain't fighting nobody, bro. I'm telling y'all. Terrence Crawford don't like Tank for whatever reason he don't like him. He's almost like a Tim Bradley nigga to me. Listen, Tank been in there with everybody. You can't put him in there with Shakur because Shakur gonna run. Let's be real. Niggas talking about, he ain't getting there with Devin Haney. Devin Haney gonna run. You see what the niggas doing now. Imagine the fight now with Tank, even with Shakur. Listen, that fight will happen. Listen, let me just explain something to y'all. On Real Talk, because Tank is the Floyd Mayweather of this era. If Tank, even though what happened with Lamont Roach or whatever, Tank could have just shut that shit down, nigga. We ain't fighting. I'm going to fight Shakur. He could do that. I keep telling y'all, let me be very, very honest to y'all. Shakur is the Manny Pacquiao to this shit when it comes to Tank. That you seen with the Floyd Manny Pacquiao shit. That's what it is. Tank would outbox him. Tank would hurt him. He would hurt him. Tank know how to cut a ring off. You can't. We know he gonna run from Tank. But Tank gonna cut that ring off. And that's what make Tank dangerous. Tank will win that fight because he's gonna be aggressive. Because he know that nigga gonna run. He not gonna sit there and throw punches with Tank. You out your goddamn mind. And we know Shakur ain't gonna hurt Tank. We know that. Let me explain something to y'all. Tank is in the same situation that Floyd was with Maidana. People thought Maidana won the fight or whatever. The only thing about this shit was that they use it as a draw. Okay. If Tank beats Lamont Roach, Shakur is next. Because I want to make it very, very clear. Shakur is not going to fight nobody. He's not going to fight nobody, bro. He's going to fight somebody that he can beat. He's going to, he's not going to fight nobody. And let me put this on real talk. And this, I give Manny Pacquiao real shit. At least Manny Pacquiao fought somebody. So I don't want to act like Shakur is on the same level as Manny Pacquiao, because he's not. He's not better than Manny Pacquiao. He's not on the same level as Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to say that, but it's kind of that scenario what's going on, that I see what's going on. Floyd had a situation with the Madonna shit, the way people thought, he won or whatever, and then Floyd had to come back and beat that nigga. And it's the same thing with Tank. Tank got to come back, he got to beat him. But let me explain something to you. If Tank, my bad, if Tank got to get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson is not going to outbox Tank. He's just not. Because number one, he don't got no power. And I stand on that shit with Shakur. You don't got no power. You can't hurt Tank. Fuck is you talking about? You knocking out fucking plumbers. The fuck are you talking about? You think you knock out plumbers. You think you can hurt Tank? I done just seen Tank, and like I said, even that fight with Lamont Roach, I done seen Tank take real shots. Fuck is you talking about? You can't hurt Tank. And I know they more powerful than you, Shakur. And you not going to sit in a pocket with Tank, and you know better. You know better. You're not going to sit in the pocket with Tank. You ain't going to do a Lamont Roach. We know that already. Because you're going to be scared of Tank power. And let me say this, and people don't realize this shit. Listen, I give respect to Shakur, him being confident of who he is, right? But I believe when you get in that motherfucking ring with Tank, and it's the biggest fight that you ever had in your life, nigga, that shit gonna have an impact on you because you ain't never been on pay-per-view. Let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, people, I'm gonna be up out of here. I gotta wash clothes and shit. I gotta cook. I gotta cook for the family and shit. So I do that shit. So I'm up out of here. I'm up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all that came up in the building. Appreciate y'all in the chat. I'm up out of here, man. I gotta, like I said, I'm washing clothes and shit. And I gotta cook for the family. Everybody wants some catfish and chicken and shit, and shrimp and all that shit. So I got to do that. And I gotta let the dog in. What time is it? Oh yeah, I gotta let the dog in. So I got shit to do. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me today, man. Talking about this, this boxing shit. I know everybody want me to talk about the NBA shit, but I ain't gonna talk about it till probably the next time I go live. I'll talk about it because, like I said, I didn't like the first round was the first round. I'll talk about that shit after. I got my opinions on some shit, but I just wanted to like kind of let shit just marinate a little bit. I don't do shit because everybody else want me to do it. But anyway, leave your comments, hit that like button. Support your boy. It's your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love to the world, y'all.